Krishna Prapti Oida Prasade Pure Sarva Dato Dani Ravai Janme Janme Prabhu Se Dato Dani Ravai Janme Janme Prabhu Se भक्ति Srila Prabhupada Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasana Gaura Bhaktavrinda Nityananda
Hare Chowpatty, Iskcon All glory to the glory to glory to the glory to Shri Guru Govinda.
ये वाला माइक चलो
The Lord's State of our Scripture is the only way which we can attain pure devotion. The bow to his Lord's State with great honor. By his grace, one can towards the ocean of material suffering and attain the mercy of Puja. Our only wish is to have our conscience and purified by the words of
I can play the harmonium for him.
His action to his Lord's State of perfection that fills all our desires. He opens our darkened eyes and fills our heart with from knowledge. He is our Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic emanates, and by him produces the sun. The Vedic scripture sings of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, defender of the poor, Lord and master of the lowly. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your family spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Shri Prabhupada ki jai!
YouTube also live already.
This one is Maharash's channel for Ukraine, Poland, everywhere.
You can share the link also of the Chowpatty.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karamo Tomari Rakhe Jayal Jagat Samya Krishna Chaitanya Deva, Shri Radha Krishna Palam, Saganalita Shri Vishakamatamsa, He Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Deenabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanusute Devi, Pranamami Haripriye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 3:15 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't have my glasses, he's just reading. Can't keep them all. Maybe from the behind. I want the books. Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 3, Text 16. Mito yadasham vavita vivado. Mito yadasham Nato yadasham. Somebody has to say it. I can't see.
मिथो यदैषां भविता विवादो
मिथो यदैषां भविता विवादो
माध्वां दाताम्रविलोचनानां नैषां विधोपाय इयान् अतोन्यो मयि उपद्यते अन्तर्दधे स्वयं स्म मिथो यदैषां भविता विवादो ताम्रविलोचनानां नैषां विधोपाय इयान् अतोन्यो मयि उद्यते अन्तर्दध्यते स्वयं स्म मिथो यदैषां भविता विवादो
मितो यदेषां भविता विवादो
मधु आत्मान्ताम्रविलोचनानां
मध्वादाताम्रविलोचनानां
नैषां विधोपाय्यानत्वन्यो
नैषां विदोपाययानतोऽन्यो
मयि उद्यते अन्तर्दधते स्वयं स्म
मितो यदेषां भविता विवादो मध्वामदाताम्रविलोचनानां नैषां मदोपाययानतोऽन्यो मयुद्धत्यन्तर्तते स्वयं स्म
मिथो यदेषां भविता विवादो
मितो यदेषां भविता विवादो
मध्वामदाताम्रविलोचनानां
मध्वामदाताम्रविलोचनानां
तेषां वधोपाययानतोऽन्यो
नैषां मदोपाययानतोऽन्यो
मयि उद्यते अन्तर्दधते स्वयं स्म
मयुद्धत्यन्तर्तते स्वयं स्म
मिथो यदेषां भविता विवादो
मितो यदेषां भविता विवादो
मध्वामदाताम्रविलोचनानां
मध्वामदाताम्रविलोचनानां
नैकां वधोपाय्यान्तो अन्यो
नैषां मदोपाययानतोऽन्यो
अद्यूतते अन्तर्धते स्वयं शम्
मयुद्धते अन्तर्तते स्वयं स्म
Ataji's
मितो यदेषां भविता विवादो मध्वामदाताम्रविलोचनानां नैषां विदोपाययानतोऽन्यो मयुध्यते अन्तर्गते स्वयं स्म
Mita, one another. Yada, when. Esha, of them. Which one did we do from? The last one? Bhavita. Bhavita will take place.
will take place.
Vivada, quarrel. Madhu, amada, intoxication
Intoxication
by drinking.
by drinking.
Adamara, Vilochana, of their eyes, being copper red. Na, a son of them. Vidavukaya means of disappearance. Yan, like this. Ata, besides this. Anya, alternative. Alternative. Mai, on my. Udite, disappearance. Ata, dadate, will disappear. Swayam, themselves. Sma, certainly. when they quarrel amongst themselves, influenced by intoxication, with their eyes red like copper because of drinking, then only will they disappear. Otherwise, it will not be possible. On my disappearance, this incident will take place. Are we doing responsibly? Translation is responsibly. When they quarrel amongst themselves, influenced by intoxication, with their eyes red like copper, because of drinking, then only will they disappear. Otherwise, it will not be possible. On my disappearance, this incident will take place. But here we can see the Lord is speaking of in the future. Purport. The Lord and his associates appear and disappear by the will of the Lord. They are not subject to the laws of material nature. So the idea is everyone else is subjected to the laws of material nature, or karma. Anybody in the material world is influenced by karma, except the pure devotees, or those who come with the Lord. So they're not subjected to the law. It's like the prison house. The governor can go to the prison house, but he's not subjected to the rules of the prison house. He can bring some friends with him, colleagues, or senators, or some other people. They're not subjected to the law of the prison house. So similarly, Krishna comes and brings his associate, but they're not under any law of karma. They are not subjected to the laws of material nature. No one was able to kill the family of the Lord. Nor was there any possibility of their material or their natural death or the laws of nature. The only means, therefore, for their disappearance was the make show of a fight amongst themselves, as if brawling in intoxication due to drinking. That so-called fighting would also take place by the will of the Lord. And otherwise, there would be no cause for their fighting. Just as Arjuna was made to be illusioned by the family affection. And thus, in Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita was spoken. So, the Yadu dynasty was made to be intoxicated by the will of the Lord, and nothing more. The devotees and associates of the Lord are completely surrendered souls. Thus, they are transcendental instruments in the hands of the Lord. It can be used in any way the Lord desires. The pure devotees also enjoy such pastimes of the Lord because they want to see him happy. The devotees of the Lord never assert independent individualities. On the contrary, they utilize their individuality in pursuit of the desires of the Lord, and their cooperation with the cooperation of the devotee, and in pursuit of the desire of the Lord. And this cooperation of the Lord's devotees with the Lord makes a perfect scene of the Lord's pastimes. So here, very nice for our benefit. We can understand the two classes of living entities, Nitya Bhara and Nitya Siddha. So these are the Nitya Siddha devotees. They're never under the influence of material energy. They come with the Lord and do his bidding. Of course they have their free will, but they like to see the Lord happy. And so they're ready to do whatever, and he indicates to them in some way what will make him happy. And so the pastimes go on in the material world. The outside will look at it and think, well, what kind of associates of the Lord is that they're drinking and quarreling and fighting. But this is all pastime. But we can't imitate that. We're coming from the material side, we have to be paka, no misuse of independence, doing everything very carefully. But when we come to the higher stage, then the yoga mind can influence to do something which otherwise we wouldn't do. So this is now under the influence of Mahamaya, or material energy. But in either case, we're not independent. This is the main point. Everybody's thinking they're independent. But it's not so. We're all dependent, either voluntarily or involuntarily, either by Yogamaya or Mahamaya. So we have to choose, what do we want? That choice the Lord gives us, because we're made in His image, we have some independence. We can either cooperate with the Lord, or we can cooperate with the Lord's external energy. But we're not independent. We have to cooperate. Just like we're sitting here, like discussing philosophy. But we're dependent. There's no supply of air. What is our position? We'll be immediately choked up. So we're dependent at every step. We think we're independent, but it's not so. So we should declare our dependence. Yes, I want to be more dependent on the Lord. And give up the false ego that I can manage things on my own. I'm okay. We discussed this yesterday, this mentality. I'm okay. No, you're not okay. You're under the law of material nature, and it's dukkhalaya vishashvatam. Here in the material world, it's full of suffering, and it's temporary. So how is that okay? Because you're eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. That's your actual position. So it's not okay that you're subjected to the law of karma, which is sometimes putting you in the body of a hog, and eating stool, and having sex with your mother. So how is that okay? It's not okay. You should get out of this world. This is the first consideration. In the human form of life, we can move in that direction. But we have to be fortunate. It's sometimes compared to falling into a well in the middle of the field, a common well that was neglected, and you fall in there. How are you going to get out? You could scream, ah, and then nobody comes in the field. But it's something like that. We're caught in the material world. There's no way to come out, except if somebody comes with a rope ladder and they give it to us, and then we can hold on and come on. So we're dependent. But we think we're independent. That's called Maya, which is not. We're not independent, but we think we are. But if we get help from those who are out of the ladder, just like Srila Prabhupada, he's no longer subject to the material laws of nature. So he can help us. He can help us. But we have to agree to follow his instructions. He's giving us instructions how we can go back home, back together. This is the instruction, step one. Don't think that you're equal to God. And declare your dependence on Him. Understand that you're small, and God is great. And your natural position is to serve and to please Him. It's not a big leap of faith you have to make. You can go step by step. And use your intelligence and logic and reason. We're not looking for blind followers. Step by step, you can come to understand what your actual position is. But it's hard because people think, no, I'm independent. You're independent because you can get up and walk out. But it doesn't mean that you're independent. No, you're very much under the law of old age, disease, and death. Are you free from that? No, none of us are free from that. So we're all dependent. But the devotee is declaring his dependence. Yeah. Like our changes. Now I understand. Now my doubts are removed. No. Now I understand that you're Hara Brahman, you're the Supreme. And my position is subordinate. And I should do what you want. So yes, I'll fight because you want me to fight. Although originally he wasn't inclined to fight. But if you hear Bhagavad Gita, you change his mind. So we should also change our mind. We think we're independent, we can do what we like, we have our business, we have our money, we attract people because of our beauty. It's harder when you get older to keep that facade. But especially in youth, the people are thinking, oh, I don't need it. People like me, they come, I can get money from them. They're ready to offer me their bodies for my enjoyment. This is going on. Beautiful woman can think like that. Beautiful man, handsome man can think like that. But what is that beauty? There's a story like it, right? Liquid beauty. The girl was very beautiful and the man came to her door and he said, oh, I've fallen in love with you. I really love you. She said, okay, but we can't meet today, I'm busy, but if you come tomorrow, we can meet. So during that 24-hour period, she purged herself. She took laxative and became, everything came out. And she lost her beauty because of that. And the man came the next day at an appointed hour, and he said, she opened the door, and he said, where is that beautiful girl who was here? She said, no, I'm the same girl. No, this girl is very beautiful. Oh, you're looking for my beauty? And she brought her to the bucket of stool and urine and said, here's my liquid beauty. This is the beauty, it's circus. It's not real, false circus. In youth we may have a little beauty, but then it's gone. Sweet 16 and bitter 16. We don't see it in old age. So we want to have eternal happiness. Satchidananda, full of knowledge and bliss. That's our birthright. This is our constitutional position. Amsa, really. Mama Amsa Jiva Loke. Really a particle of God. So our nature is the same as God. Like the sunlight and the sun. Same nature, light and heat. But one is greater, one is small. So we're the small particle of God. But we have the independence. But our independence consists of turning to God or turning away from Him. So we've chosen to turn away from God. We think we're doing okay. We can make a good living here. People are giving me money and so on. We don't feel any urgency. We're happy with our karma. I have good karma, so I'm happy. But karma is temporary. And Bhagavad Gita tells us, even those in the good karma, they have the same disadvantage. What is that disadvantage? They don't see the necessity of getting out of this world. So repeatedly they become big men, but repeatedly, all women, and repeatedly they have to go into the womb, packed up for 9 months, or maybe only 2 months if they get a dog's body. Because the dog, the puppy only has to stay in the mother for a couple of months. I don't know, not 9. Anyway, that's our choice. Either we can take a gamble and stay in this material world and think we can be happy here, but Krishna is certified. Dukkalaya. What does Dukkalaya mean? Full of suffering. So even we're happy, then our wife can want a divorce. Our children can rebel against us. So there's no assurance of happiness in this world. Like water on a lotus petal. It falls off. A little disturbance, then our happiness is gone. Here today, gone tomorrow. So we want to remain happy all the time, without interruption. And we can do that. We qualify to enter the spiritual world. And that's what Bhagavatam is teaching us. He's giving us the system that we can qualify, step by step. We were discussing today about not Chowpatty, nectar of devotion, but the nectar of instruction. It describes the first verse, I think, or second. The different things that are keeping us here. Vajravega, because we talk too much. Krodavega, we get angry too much. Udagavega, we get the bellies demanding more and more. So we're being pulled by the urges. Genital is pushing us. So this way we're not really free, but we think we're free. So we have to become sober to hear this message. This is the qualification. People can't hear. It's too restless. Many of you are sitting and hearing. This is it will repeatedly hear. And we can, of course, hear in our own privacy of our room. Prabhupada's books are there. Or we can come regularly to the class we have here daily. Hearing. Hearing is the first step. Shravana. Shravana Kirtana. We have to hear the subject and understand it and act on it. It's not just meant for speculation, armchair philosophy, to discuss some philosophy. No, it's application. Arjuna was a man of action. He took the instruction of Krishna and brought it into activity. Not just that we have some nice discussion in the intellectual circles and then we just go out and do our nonsense. No. This is for changing your life. It's like Arjuna changed. So we have to also change. If we're taking it properly, we'll give up our bad habits. It'll be possible. Otherwise it's not possible. I have personal experience. Before I became a devotee, I was smoking cigarettes. I joined the Navy, they gave us free cigarettes. I think I started smoking, I got addicted. And so when I came to the temple, I had to give it up. But I had already tried, because I knew it was a bad habit. Sometimes we used to say, oh, giving up smoking is easy. I've done it 30 times. You can do it for a day or so, then you want again. It's a drug. It gets in your blood. Of course, becoming a devotee, now I haven't had a cigarette, I don't like the smell even in 55 years. So we can give it up, but it's very difficult. But coming to Krishna consciousness in association with devotees, it makes it easier. Give up our bad habits. Because we have to. We have to give up our sinful life if we want to enter into it. And that is sinful life, because we're killing ourselves. It's not our body. Krishna gave us this body. It's his body. And we're destroying it. Willfully, knowingly drinking poison. So naturally, we're going to have to get another body. In the next body, you won't have that habit of smoking. Depends on your karma. Everything is under karma, under the law of karma. Who's out of the law of karma? The rich man? No, he's subjected to karma. He may think he's free, but everybody's subjected to the law of karma. But we want to transcend that condition. This is the goal of Krishna consciousness. To rise above your karma and come to the level of Brahman. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, Nasochatina, Sankanchati, Samasa Vesa Bhutesu, Bhakti, Madhate, Karam. This is very important. Lord, 1854 is telling us, by practicing this Krishna consciousness, Bhakti Yoga, we can rise above our karma and come to the level of Brahman. Then we can begin our service to Krishna. Then we can have real positive alternative to our sinful activities. Otherwise, we're going from one sinful activity to another, and we think, oh, now I can better. But it's all sinful, because it's not putting God in the center. And this is the Ishavasya. Ishavasya means keep God in the center. This is our goal. We want to do everything for the pleasure of the Lord. Here it is. And by doing that, we'll become happy. The same example we're giving. The hand is cut off, it has no value. It can't enjoy the food. It's not equipped. So we're separated from God. We think we can enjoy, but we're not equipped to enjoy. He's the Purusha. We're Prakriti. We're meant to be enjoyed by Him. If we agree to be enjoyed by Krishna, an instrument in His hand, then we'll get real happiness. But we don't believe it. I have my own philosophy. I don't believe in God. Religion is a crutch. It's a crutch. Yeah, well, you need a crutch. Without a crutch, you're going to hell. Going down. So why not take this opportunity? The Lord is so kind. He doesn't need to come to the material world to speak Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't need to send his representatives like Srila Prabhupada. He does, out of his causeless willingness to help us, even when we turned against them. He still cares for us. But you have to turn to Him. Okay, any question? Everybody's convinced, it's good. There shouldn't be a question, really, because it's simple philosophy. You don't have to change your position. You can begin this process from any position, but you have to be a little serious to change your habits, and that's difficult. Like smoking cigarettes was hard for me. It was harder than other things, because it's an addiction. But if you confront it, like one of the ways I was able to overcome smoking habit, because this is a ritual. You take the cigarette out, you pack it, you put it in your mouth, you breathe it out. But now instead of doing this ritual, I have another ritual. I put my hand in my bead bag, and I feel the beads. So you're doing something, but it's progressive. It's good for you. You feel better for it. Everybody feels better after the kirtan. But why is that? Because we're doing the Yuga Dharma. This is the Lord puts it. Like Prabhupada once told us. In Latvia, we were in Vrindavan with Prabhupada, and he was mentioning we were having every evening a kirtan. So it was very good kirtans. We came back after the second kirtan, we had two kirtans. And Prabhupada was sitting on his bed. And Shruti Kirti and I was sitting on the ground. And Prabhupada suddenly spoke. He said, "This kirtan gives us life. This is a special mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And if we don't get life from the kirtan, simply sex life. And that's the pleasure of this world. This is the highest pleasure. We agree, sex life. There's a pleasure coating on the genital. And then this pleasure. But along with that pleasure, how much trouble is there? If you're just self-sex, then that's also trouble, because you're losing your vital fluid. The semen of the man is the most refined element. In order to make one drop of semen, it takes like 40 drops of blood. And the blood is made after, But we don't know that. We think, oh, this is some pleasure. But that pleasure has a price. Those who can remain celibate, they extend their life period. Like I'm 84 years old. But because I'm celibate, I can still have cognition, and I can still have. But most people at my age, what are they doing? They're just getting ready for death. But my future is bright because of being a devotee, and I see I'm getting closer to Krishna. I don't feel old. The soul is never old. I don't feel old. I mean, sometimes I'm getting old. I get off the floor. But it's a jolly, it's a joyful experience being a devotee. Prabhupada used to say, we're not hippies, we're happy. But why not take it? A little trouble in the beginning, okay. No illicit sex. That's the biggest stumbling block. Because sex life is the highest pleasure. So we're not against sex life, but do it properly. The pleasure coding is there because the responsibility is great. You have to take care of the child. Wait, there's a child. Just joining in. Yes, let us know, baby. How much trouble is involved? So therefore, if pleasure is there, intense pleasure, but along with it comes a big trouble. Raising a family is not an easy thing. You have to be responsible, at least for 30 years, when you have a few children. It's not a small thing. Of course, you can just run away from it, but then the karma gets worse and worse. Neglect your wife and divorce her or something. But you won't be free from the sex life. The lust will devour you. But by taking the Krishna consciousness, like Prabhupada said, this kirtan gives us life. You get a better thing, then we can give up sex life. So I took that instruction very seriously. Pretty funny. And I was always married on my Okay, so it's a simple for the simple. but sometimes we're too intelligent. Maya yaparita jnana. We're over-intelligent. We can't say a simple thing and just take it. Like I told, I had a dream of that simple thing. The sandwich was right in front of you. All you have to do is bite it. This Krishna consciousness is here, everybody. We're offering everybody can come. Pure devotee, have a joyful life and a wonderful future, birth after birth. But you have to take it. It's like a wonderful sandwich is presented. You have to bite into it. Nobody can force you. By desire we've come here, by desire we have to go back. We've come individually, by our own desire. We thought we had an advantage here. Now we should wake up to the fact that we don't have an advantage. That the Dukhalaya is a place of suffering. So let me go back home, back to God. Okay, I'm stopping here unless there's a question. You want some light? Stand up and forgive me.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for sharing the importance of taking the spiritual life and being happy, jolly, life after life. My question is, Maharaj, I observe my consciousness during the day which fluctuates. Like sometimes I am convinced that I should be very strict with my schedule and with my devotion. And sometimes it takes a dip. So what should I be doing?
That's your mind. The mind will give you that kind of alternative. So you have to beat your mind with a shoe every morning, 100 times, or 1,000 times. So what is higher than the mind is intelligence. Then you have to choose. I'm going to follow my mind and senses, or I'm going to follow my intelligence. My intelligence is very clear. Krishna consciousness is the best thing. But the mind and senses are thinking differently. But it's like a 2-year-old child. Therefore, the child needs a parents. The mind is like the child. And the intelligence is like the adult. So you have to take shelter of the adult. The intelligence. When those pushing urges come. And then just becoming sober and say, this is not so hard. Let me do what I have to do in order to go back to Godhead. It means I have to place you to Prabhupada and Krishna and your own guru or authorities. So, that's your choice. Nobody can force you. And you're going to be tested like that. Maya will test you. You really want Krishna or you want your sense gratification? No? What do you want? Huh?
Krishna.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for the good lecture. Maharaj, as the age passes, we start feeling because of bodily condition, we start feeling less enthusiastic in terms of maybe dancing, less enthusiastic in terms of dealing with devotees. But Maharaj, we saw you how you are so enthusiastic even at the age of 84-year-old and chanting and doing Kirtan so much. So Maharaj, how can we understand, how can we correct it, as the age passes, that thought of laziness or that thought of old age doesn't come in our mind, and we still be enthusiastic as we are in the age of Krishna consciousness.
Will you say in one sentence with your question?
Maharaj, how to remain enthusiastic even the ages passes? Even
Yeah, you have to get a higher taste. Why not just in the market taste? If you don't get a higher taste, you're going to go out because we're looking for happiness. And the soul can't tolerate this dryness. That's why we emphasize the Kirtan, because in the Kirtan you can quickly get that higher taste. But if it's not coming, you're doing something wrong. You have to think, what am I doing wrong? There's 10 offenses against the holy name. Am I acting, am I attending the holy name? Otherwise the holy name is very liberal. He's ready to give himself to you. Krishna says, I'm not different than my name. He's ready to give you yourself. You'll feel the presence of the Lord if you're doing the kirtan properly, even doing the japa properly. You can feel the presence of the Lord. But if you're neglectful, if you're inattentive, if you're thinking this is just a ritual thing I'm doing, then you won't get that high thing. We have to go back to point one. What brought me to Krishna consciousness? Yeah. There must have been some higher taste. So we have to do basics. Rise early and just do it out of duty. Don't even have to do it out of duty. Like I was in the Navy, you have to do it, yes sir. You can't say, well, I don't feel like doing it today. So, this is a verse like that. I'll read the verse. Chapter 3, text 30. How do you read it? Anybody have it?
3:30. मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि.
You give it a Sanskrit. There you go. Give it a Sanskrit. Get out of
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यस्य अध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः.
Say it in Hindi. Translation.
Therefore, O Arjuna,
In Hindi.
in Hindi.
What verse is it again?
3.30.
There we go.
कौन सा वर्ष?
I try to translate myself.
We don't have any Hindi scholars here. Translate for English.
I can try.
Go ahead.
इसलिए हे अर्जुन, आपके सारे कर्म मुझे समर्पण करो. पूर्ण ज्ञान से वे सारे कर्म मुझ पे समर्पण करो और उसके फल की आशा मत करो और उसका स्वामित्व का स्वीकार मत करो और आलस से मुक्त होकर युद्ध करो.
In English, therefore, O Arjuna, surrender all your works unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy. Fight! So Thomas Cooper is wonderful too. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. You want the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita? Here it is. This clearly indicates the purpose. 3:30. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in military discipline. Such an injunction makes things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Okay? It's very clear. Now we should stop and have prashadam. Everybody likes prashadam. Is it prashadam for everybody? Mahaprashadam ki. Jai. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So, we will thank His Holiness Sri Vikram Swami Maharaj loudly chanting 3 times. And there is some book that Prabhuji will introduce of His Holiness. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, we have a wonderful book written by His Holiness Sri Vikram Swami Maharaj about his exchanges, memories, and services to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj has been associating with Prabhupada since 1968 until 1977 physically on this planet, and also continuing to serve Prabhupada throughout his life. So all such exchanges and memories have been written down in this wonderful book. So any devotees who are interested can please come to me and collect this book. These books are personally signed by Maharaj, and you can get it right away today. This book we charge like 200 rupees. It's I saw in Govinda's one pizza was like 400. I think 200 is very reasonable. Whatever your heart feels, you can always donate for this book. This book has been widely received and well appreciated by all senior Vaishnavas in Iskcon. Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, Indrananda Maharaj, Chowpatty Maharaj, Satswarup Maharaj, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, Shrutikirti Prabhu, and the list. So I request devotees to not miss this opportunity and collect the book from me. This is personally signed. Yes. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.